Shan and Tam fam, welcome to the Real Talk podcast. On this podcast, we talk about real issues. We talk about parenting, love, family, friendships, and everything in between.
It is our hope that you will journey with us through some critical conversations. We would like for you to drop us a comment, to share the conversation, and to let us know what you would like to see us talk about on Real Talk. So welcome again, Shan and Tam fam. Hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful time. You know, we're getting into some nicer weather, some summer weather. It is nice. Tam and I just wanted to drop in today just to talk a little bit about our niece and nephew. They decided to take the step to commit their lives to Christ. And, it was such an emotional day for so many reasons today, seeing these young people really being an example for the other young people around them. And it made me think of my walk and what that meant like and when I dedicated my life, and just had me reflecting. So we just wanted to start a conversation today in terms of your journey with Christ and your walk. So Tam, I know today we were together, and I just wanted to hear from you. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was very emotional for me. You would think that it's our own kids. Like I felt like it was my own
Mm-hmm.
child that was kind of taking that step. But you know what really kind of resonated for me is how young they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reflecting on myself at that age.
Mm.
And, though I was one who was always in church, like brought up in the church at that age, I was, going to church quite regularly, getting very involved and stuff like that. I don't know that I was courageous enough
To
at
take the step
their
at that
age to
time.
take that step. And I think maybe it's because of the way the message is delivered now versus then, because
That makes a huge difference.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
often think about that, and I've said it in various forums to various people that, what I remember of the gospel message per se is doom and gloom. If you're
Yeah.
not saved, you're going to burn in hell. And that was
Mm-hmm.
basically it. And you need to be saved so that, burn in hell forever. It was hellfire and brimstone.
Yeah, there was no grace, there was no
There was
mercy.
there was
Yes,
no
and it's
grace.
interesting I said that.
Mhm.
Yes. It's different now,
Yeah,
right? And especially older when you hear the gospel. And that's how I grew up too, like hearing that message in the church like that. It's like you feel so condemned, right? You feel so condemned when you come before
absolutely.
Christ, when you're in the presence, like you're far from forgiveness. But with time, and I guess the gospel, I wouldn't say the gospel changed. People have changed the perspective and how they deliver the message.
I
Because
think
you
so.
realize you can't beat people down so, because the message also talks about grace and his
Yeah.
mercy and his love and his forgiveness, right?
Yeah, the word hasn't changed. I mean,
No.
it's the same Bible that was being used then. We as
Mm-hmm.
Christians, and for whoever, whatever your belief system is, I think for a lot of the belief systems that preach love and the power of an ultimate being,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, it hasn't changed. The Bible hasn't changed for us as Christians. And
No.
so it's interesting now when I look back at what I thought or heard as a
Mm.
young person versus what I hear now and how I received that and how that has changed my life. It's just quite interesting. And I'm personally happy
Mm.
that at their age, that they are able to hear the
Yes.
gospel, I believe, as it should be preached, understand it,
Mm-hmm.
accept it for what it means, and make that commitment to give
Yeah.
their lives.
Yeah, I thought that was so powerful, right? And you could see in how they presented, it's nothing forced. This is something that they want to do. And and it's the other day we were talking about even the children and praying for them. And yes, we can pray for them to do good in school and to make the wise choices and stuff. But something just dropped in my spirit the other day. We have pray for them soul, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, that's the most important thing. And then I believe things will fall into place. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness. And for me, praying for their souls, right? Because that is something important. We want to see these young people to surrender and to give their lives to Christ.
And another powerful thing that happened today too was that one of the young people mentioned that, the mere fact that they could have come
Mm,
as they are and be accepted was
yes.
one of the things that moved them and is very
Move them
in
to come to the church.
yeah, and that is another thing too I find that keeps people away from the body,
Yeah.
of Christ and the church because you know for some people like us who have possibly grown up in a very traditional setting,
Mm-hmm.
from back home, and there are certain expectations in terms of how you dress and,
Yes.
what
And
you
not
wear.
everybody have the money for that. And that's something she pointed out today.
Yeah, not everybody
Financially, not
has that.
everybody can afford that.
I mean, even as an adult, I faced challenges with that, w- w- as I sought my way, in
Mm,
Christianity too, because I was thinking it was always something where you think that if you're not presented a certain way, you're actually not deserving or good enough to be in the space, you know?
mm-hmm.
And for our congregation, that is something that actually has kept me there because it's not
Mm,
like, say, church not that closer to me.
I
I have
know,
a
eh?
church literally 5 minutes away from
Yes,
my
like a
house.
throw stone away.
Yeah, but I drive 40 minutes and 45 minutes and
Yes.
longer to get to our location and to get to our congregation because of the level of acceptance that I feel there, that I felt from day one. The,
Mm-hmm.
non-judgment and, really embracing the fact that you should come as you are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and be glad in that, right?
Yeah, and not feel like you're an outsider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
thought that was powerful too when she said that.
that goes to show that sometimes um we really need to be cognizant of what it is that we're putting out there,
Mm-hmm.
particularly for us as Christians. What is it that we're presenting to other people? Not just by
Yes.
speaking the word.
But by how we're living too.
Yes. And is
Mm-hmm.
it actually opening up the doors for somebody to come into, the fold and for them to
Mm-hmm.
come with you into that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's a powerful point because there's so many reasons why someone wouldn't be able to afford, right, certain things, or probably it's just not a comfort level. But at the end of the day, we have to make the space open for people to come and to worship, without feeling like they're an outsider, they can't fit in, right? But overall, it was just such a powerful day, and it makes you think on your walk and your journey and the commitment that you made, and to for you to know that, listen, this life, it says this life is so short, right? And we have to be intentional sometimes with the things we do and the choices we make. So I am so happy for these two young people to make that commitment for the others to see them, right? And to see them as an example as well.
Yeah, yeah, I am really excited for them. And something you mentioned earlier about, the fact that we have thought about praying for the souls of our children, is
Mm-hmm.
something that weighs heavily on my heart all the time, because I tell people all the time, I'm not afraid to say it, that one of the things that drove me to change my life and make that commitment was my children, because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show them a better way, of living, of
Yes.
existing, of being, of how to love and to care for people. And I thought that, just living from one day to the next, really, having
Mm-hmm.
known,
No purpose.
yeah, right? It
Mm-hmm.
like I personally didn't feel that that was the example that I needed to set for them.
Yes.
Um, and so that was my motivation to go back to church,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Because
And
it's
to
not,
recommit, rededicate your life.
yes,
Yes.
and to rededicate my life. And our congregation, like I said, was very welcoming. And that is actually one of the things that actually keeps people in the church. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
if you feel that way. But the welcome that you feel when you enter, like when you actually come into the
Yes.
space,
Yes.
is one of
Yes.
the things that will definitely
Yes,
contribute
yes, yes, yes. Because that
to,
set the tone, right? And it's something, you remember when we had this even talk with Fabian, and she said the people them at the front, that's one of the most powerful ministry because they are the first ones that meet people,
Mhm.
right? The welcome, those who are at the front welcoming people because they are the ones that see you first and they set the tone as well too for the day that you will have.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, we know that we may have listeners who are of, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
different faiths, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that ultimately that sense of belonging that you get to a body,
Yes.
of people who are like-minded, who,
Mm-hmm.
walk in the same purpose, towards the same goals and stuff, it really can be powerful and it really is uplifting. And
Yes.
it can really become a space. Like, think about it. That's where we met.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yes.
a lot of our village is,
In the space.
yes, in that
Yeah, that's
space.
so true. In the
So
space.
there are so many benefits to belonging to the body,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
belonging to a community, to a
Yeah,
village.
yeah. And not to mention the sort of comfort, encouragement, the strength that you get from actually um, worshiping, right?
Yes, yes.
Learning
Mm-hmm.
about our God, and worshiping, and just deepening that relationship.
Yes. And
So
being a part of a community and a family.
yeah, so if you think about the fact that these young people are starting out at this age,
Yes.
to develop that sense of belonging, to have that, to
Yes.
desire that relationship, how much better can it get as
Gonna
they
be
grow older?
powerful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? And we all need people. We all need a community. We're not an island. We all
Hmm.
need a village.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something that stood out for me as well today. Like it, everybody was just full of with joy by seeing these candidates, all of them, all five of
Hmm.
them. And because at the end of the day, we want everybody to do their best and to be their best. And when one person say yes, it's like we all say yes.
Yes.
That's how I felt today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Tam?
No, I think, like you said, this was just a quick conversation between us, and we're hoping that this will generate some thought in your minds, listeners, about yeah, like you said, Shan, what does that community look like for you?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel in that space? Is there that sense of belonging? How do you feel about the young people and the fact that at a tender age that, you know, they can make that choice
Mm-hmm.
to really be committed to a walk with Christ and to build a relationship with him? How do you feel about that? Some people think that children are not
Shouldn't.
understanding. Yeah, like they're too young. It can't happen at a certain age and so
But
on.
I'm not too young to get trouble and get into things too.
I
No,
know.
seriously, and I saw one of my teachers post that a few months ago back when her granddaughter dedicated their life at a young age. And she said, you know what, them not too young for the crime and for the
Hmm.
certain things. So them not too young to give them life to God.
They're not too young. I
No,
know. We kind of second that thought. I don't think I've heard that before, but
right?
I think I
Yes.
second that. And I think that what
Mm,
you communicate to them in terms of living a life for Christ can be age appropriate. And they
yes.
can make that decision at that appropriate age with the appropriate language. And as you grow,
Yes.
you develop, your
Exactly.
understanding, the
Exactly.
relationship, right? And it can deepen. But
Yeah.
I think it can always be age appropriate.
I
And
absolutely think so. And Tam, at the end of the day, even adults are babe Christians as well too, because everybody grow in their faith,
I
right?
consider myself still a babe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Everybody grow, everybody
yeah,
develop in their faith. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, everybody walk is different. And as well, and that never left me when she said that. She said them not too young for commit crime and for the certain things. So them not too young for give them life to God.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We know this is a debatable topic about the
Yes.
age, but it really is to provoke your thoughts. But
Mm-hmm.
we are so happy for our little ones. We love
Yes.
them. We support them. We
Absolutely.
are rejoicing with them and their parents, the family and friends. We
Yes,
are insanely proud of
I
that
know.
decision that they have made.
Yes, yes. So until next time, Shantam fam, drop us a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Until next time.
Don't forget to visit Shan and Tam on all their social media websites at Sisters Shan and Tam on Instagram, Shan Tam Lodge Lee on Facebook, and check out their blogs at shanandtam.blogspot.com. Tune in again next time on Real Talk.